Hey, morning guys. We are done with harvest. I've been running the sprayer just a little bit, but it is a little drizzly and windy today, so we're not going to run the sprayer. I am getting the 9410 hooked up to the disc, and we are going to go knock down some heavy corn residue. Almost got it on the first try. Oh boy, that almost works good. Not too awful. It's been a few years since I've hooked this up, so hooking these hoses up might take a little extra time, trying to find out where they all go. I think these are the wings. I'm sure they will be backwards, but gotta start somewhere. Okay, one set plugged in. These little ones, I'm fairly certain, just go for this leveling motor here, so that is going to be pretty easy. Once you get that set, you really don't use it too much. Set those to the side. And then we basically have one more function. It's going to be our up and down. Then we're going to have one that controls the hydraulics on the very back of the disc if we were going to pull a basket, which we're not going to today. All right, we'll go kick our fancy tire chalk out here. And then we're gonna see how close. Yeah, that's pretty close. We're gonna try and roll it forward before we pick it up. Oh geez, I almost forgot to hook up the safety chain. There, that's done. Most important part. Attempt to do this and not put a hole through the wall of the barn. Well, rolled off the blocks the right way, and our number one SCV, or hydraulic, is going the right direction. I can see where right over there is going to be a little tight getting it away from that Selford. Yep. All good things. Yep, just a little love tap. But we got her. So, number one is up and down, and that is actually going the right direction. Let's see, no 3-point. Number two is probably not used. That's probably that one for pulling a basket. Number three should be our wings. Yep, and that is actually the correct direction. This is shocking. Normally every hose set you hook up is backwards. And number four should be our hydraulic leveler. Maybe. Might have plucked the hoses out of that one. But anyways, we got most of it right. We're going to pull it around to the front of the shop. And I'll close the door. pull it around to the shop and check the tires, because this thing hasn't been used in at least a year. So we are gonna check air pressure in the tires and then we'll go disc. All right, no flat tires or anything, so here we go. Plus, we got second tractor convoying to, he's got, this disc is like 36 foot, and the disc he's pulling it with a 9230, and I think it's like 21 feet wide, for the ultra wet stuff where we're just trying to get our tire tracks closed, get the residue chopped up just a little bit, and just so it can rot down better in the winter. Just gonna get a few AB lines set here. This whole farm got planted with two different AB lines. One was a 360 or a 0 degree heading, and the other one was a 90 degree heading. So we're just gonna offset them by 5 degrees to run at a little bit of an angle. So there's our tillage east-west. Then we're gonna do tillage north-south. And then we're gonna do an A+ heading, set A, and then 355 or 5 degrees. They're the same thing. There we go. Got our AB line set. Got the disc unfolded, and we are ready to go. I feel like only the other farmers who are watching this are going to understand how relaxing this is. Don't get me wrong, I love running combine, running the sprayer, I love it all. But there's something relaxing about running tillage. We don't do a whole lot of it, especially disking like this. So there's just a relaxing factor to it. I also feel like I should explain, because half the time I'm talking about no-till, half the time I'm talking about vertical till, and then, you know, we're disking. So why are we doing it? This is some of the heaviest ground that we have. If you remember during planting season, this is where I was running that scratcher thing. We were running the disc, and it was like 5 different types of tillage to get this farm in shape. And I bet you're not going to be able to see, but you can see in between the corn rows are like some real dark old corn rows. We basically no-tilled corn on corn ground last spring. So we used the GPS, shifted over 15 inches, planted a row of corn in between every old corn row. And so now what we have is a corn fodder or a corn stalk every 15 inches. And we're not 100% sure what we are going to plant on this farm next year, whether it be corn or soybeans. But regardless, some ruts there. Regardless of what we plant, the corn stalks are going to be in the way. If we tried to plant soybeans in there, the corn stalks are going to be jamming up the row units, and if we try to plant corn in there, it's just going to be in the way. So we have to do something with this residue. And this ground is heavy enough that we can do the tillage. The ground will benefit from the tillage. It's flat enough where we're not going to get a lot of erosion. The only thing that could bite us is if we don't get a lot of snow and we have a really windy winter. Really windy winter. That's a tongue twister. We could lose some of the fodder, which we don't want to do because there's nutrient value in that fodder. So we want to keep that. But that is, I guess, the only thing that could bite us this winter. Our tentative plan for next year's crop is I think we are actually going to try some third-year corn on this and see what happens. It's really close to home, and it's a large concentration of land. I mean, if the trees weren't in the way, I could see the home farm. So it's nice to have a big chunk of corn all in one spot close to home where you can use just a couple of trucks and feed the dryer. And it raises phenomenal corn. Soybeans, usually on this farm, are average or above, but the corn coming off of here is crazy. But you can kind of see how big and wide open it is. It goes up there for a ways. It goes that way almost as far as the camera will see. The pass I'm in now, or the rows I'm in right now, are just under a mile long. And then there's a ditch that we're turning around at. And then there's probably another half a mile beyond the ditch of field. So it is a huge area of ground. Another nice thing about having the corn in this big of a chunk is, aside from these power lines, which the crop duster pilots are crazy enough to fly underneath them, but they can spray this whole farm with the airplane, so we can get fungicide on this whole farm and protect it from disease in the plant. Kind of our preliminary residue management plan is we're gonna run this disc, which obviously it is leaving it very rough and kind of chopped up, which is okay. Then in the spring, we plan to either run this same disc and pull a rolling basket behind it to kind of smooth it out and plant behind that, or I think this past spring I did a video when I was running our Landall VT tool that we pull a basket behind, so that could also be an option for getting this ground fit. But this will definitely require another pass come spring. This is nowhere near a finished job that we could plant right into come springtime. It will definitely require another pass. Well, that's gonna do it for today. We are not done. I have a little more to do over there, and then some more to do over there. But gonna call her good for today and come down in the morning and finish this up and then get in the sprayer. So I'm probably going to do a video in the sprayer as well, but that'll be the next one. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you then.